Beautiful.
Amazing bill. I'm always astounded by just the shape, the width of it. It's just so much power behind that, isn't it?
Yeah, enormous. Do you know that they're the sort of sister species? I'm not sure that that's a taxonomically,
I've never had
accurate
sister
species of the American bald eagle. Well, basically they are very similar. They fulfill exactly the same niche, and they've got, of course, that great big yellow banana bill there. Very powerful. In Latvia. I've never been to Latvia.
No, neither have I.
Tempting though, isn't it, when you look at that?
Yeah,
when you look at that image of that eagle on its nest and that misty morning in Latvia. But anyway, what have you put on my head?
A dinosaur hat. Because, of course, the only birthday hats you have are dinosaur related, naturally.
Yeah.
Because it's a special occasion.
Is it?
Yeah, special occasion. Ready?
No, go on.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my friend. Happy birthday to you.
I could go on, but I'll stop it there.
Is it the anniversary of the Muppet Show?
Similar, but not quite.
Sounded that.
We're close to that. Yeah, close to that.
Get your bunting out.
I got my decorations, because you can't have a party without a few celebratory things. You have to hold this above our heads the whole time now. There we go. It's SIBC's first birthday.
I don't believe.
Woohoo! It is. It's been a whole year.
It doesn't
a couple of days ago, so we've
Doesn't seem like a year.
Oh god, it seems like longer to me.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a very odd year, hasn't it? Really, we've got a lot done in some ways and nothing done in the other. In terms of, it's been a very strange year for everyone, of course.
It has been a very odd year. It feels like yesterday in one way, then it also does feel like it was. I don't know, about 5 years ago. I feel like I've aged a lot in this last year.
You have, yeah.
We'll get into you.
Yeah.
So rude.
Listen, do you mind if I
go on. I might do the same as well.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable.
No.
Okay. Yes, it is. Anyway, we've been broadcasting now on SIBC for just over a year, and we started humbly with our mobile phones, using Skype, sat in the garden.
Still pretty much the same, except it's a laptop and it's Zoom.
Yeah, but this is also a broadcast to celebrate, because since last week, our internet speed here in the rural New Forest area has increased phenomenally.
I don't believe it.
I'm very pleased to say that Elon Musk came round on Wednesday and put one of his satellite receivers on the roof. And he didn't fix the car whilst he was here, actually. I had a word with him about it. He was quite busy going on about SpaceX or something. Anyway, he got up on the roof and put up a satellite dish. And we're now getting astonishing internet speeds.
Well, you say that, but we did an interview yesterday or the day before, and you kept freezing and dropping out. So every time, Chris, for the last year, every time he's been like, oh, BT Engineer's coming, or Elon Musk is coming round. And he'd be like, internet's going to be great. And everyone gets their hopes up. Chris gets really excited. Everyone gets really, jazzy about it. Because the internet, I mean, we may as well live on Mars, to be honest, seriously. But I don't believe it every time, because every time it's fixed, it's never fixed.
Listen, the thing about, I don't know, Elon's Starlink network is that it's not complete at the moment, so
Poodle.
it is prone to drop out for a few minutes during the day. But having said that, when it is up and running, it's running with phenomenal capacity.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah,
we'll see you on this broadcast.
Anyway, listen, we've got we got some really good stuff coming up, haven't we?
Well, to celebrate.
Oh yes, of course.
So to celebrate our 1 year anniversary, the wonderful Lucy Lapwing has designed SIBC T-Shirts. Yes, she has. How cool are they?
Yeah.
Have a good look.
We would be wearing them.
Yeah, we would be wearing them, except it is quite chilly out here.
It's well, that's an understatement. Yeah.
There we are.
It's actually
they're great.
Really
I can
cold
put it on like
morning.
this. There
really
we are.
Cold indeed,
But they're all organic cotton, and I've got a bit of a list here about the ethics of the T-shirts themselves. They're not tested on animals, no animal-derived products whatsoever. Printed in the UK with a low-waste printing tech, made from renewable energy-powered factory, for a range of different sustainable criterias. So here we are.
When you say they're not tested on animals, if we put
the ink and stuff.
If we put one on the Poodles later, just to see if it fitted, would that mean that it was tested on an animal?
Might do.
No, they're great. And they come from, and it's a company that we've used many times before, and their credentials are impeccable. So if you would like one of these T-shirts to celebrate the year of SIBC, the link is pinned, and you can find that. And yeah, and we've got them at, I think we've put them up at the lowest possible price that we possibly could. Yeah.
This is more of a celebration.
It's a celebration.
Yeah.
We're not trying to make any money out of this, but we just wanted everyone to have the opportunity to get themselves a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, ivory feathers. A little while ago, a man contacted us and said, I've got this project running. And he's like so many other people, he was trapped in his room, unable to go about his normal creative business. And he got his mind working. He thought, I'd come up with an idea, ivory feathers. So ivory feathers, what could that possibly be?
Well,
maybe the feathers from the ivory-billed woodpecker. No,
it's very that's very specific.
He's talking about the ivories, which is obviously, hopefully, they're no longer made of ivory, but the piano keys. So Joe George is a pianist, and he started a project whereby he, what should we say? He was inspired by birdsong, and he interpreted that birdsong in musical form, spontaneously, I add, spontaneously. And then gave a performance. So he's a bit like one of those sort of stand-up comedians that stand up and say, give me a topic, I'll tell you a joke about it. Joe George is so talented when it comes to his compositional skills that you give him a bird song and he produces one.
Well, he composes a masterpiece.
Yeah, instantaneously. Anyway, Joe George and his ivory feathers is coming up. You can find out details of that, of course, on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel where you can see more of his creative mastery taking place. So he'll be coming up in a bit.
Yeah. Got a great new magazine coming up, haven't we, that we're going to showcase, made by amazing young people that we're very excited. We actually were fortunate enough that they wanted to have a chat with us. Don't know why, but they wanted to have a chat with us, didn't they? And we got to speak with the wonderful young writers, editors, publishers of this magazine.
Yeah, they do everything themselves.
Brilliant.
Green Fuse.
Green Fuse so magazine.
Catching up with that in a bit.
So we're talking about that.
Lindsey Chapman's going to be here.
Yeah.
Within seconds, bringing us through stuff. But go on.
Well, I was just going to say, let's have a look at some of your photos, because of course we love seeing what you send in on the Facebook group. So have a look at this. This is Signs of Spring. This was given to us by Kim Carey. It's a beautiful clip of a little bee. Look at that. I haven't seen one of those white-tailed bumblebees yet. I've seen a couple honeybees.
On the crocus there. No, I had a bumblebee this week.
Did you?
Buzzing around out the front. Yeah, just the one when I was down on my hands and knees, sticking the bulbs in. Hey, listen, can you hear that missile thrush thing?
Yeah. Over there.
Maybe a bit too far away to pick it up on the mic, but it's nice to hear that we're being serenaded by a missile thrush. Lovely to see that. Thank you very much for that clip.
Yes,
definite sign of spring. Queen bumblebee out and about, grabbing a bit of nectar whilst it's looking for its nest site to start the year.
Siobhan Mitchell has also been out and about, but she's not currently in the UK. She's in Portugal, and she came across these little cute fellas. Have a look at these wild boars. I love a boar.
Look at that.
Look at that. So anything with a long snout. I love a long snout on an animal.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it looks quite entertaining. I have a thing about snouts.
Look at that. Aren't they great?
Oh, look at that wallowing.
Look at them wallowing in there.
They're so cute.
Oh, so good.
I bet that feels really good if you're a pig. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because you've got
good shot as well, isn't it?
It's a really good shot.
Siobhan there. Oh, look at the tail in the lower right. I'm loving that little bit of extra detail there. Was it an ear? Could be an ear.
Yeah.
It's great to see wild boar there. Of course, indigenous over many parts of Europe, from the south to the north. They were obviously present here in the UK. They have been at large, causing controversy. There were quite a few of them in Sussex. It's the first place I saw them, and they were there. I'm not entirely sure whether they remain. They were in Wareham Forest, of course, for a long time. Not sure how many are left there now, but Forest of Dean is the hotspot in the UK where they were released, and there was all sorts of controversy because people said there were too many of them, but they didn't know how many there were. So I always wondered, if you don't know how many there were, how can you say there were too many?
It's true.
And then they started culling them to get the numbers down, but they didn't know what they were getting the numbers down from. So obviously people got very upset about that, and they do play a really fundamentally important role in the ecology. You saw those boar there wallowing. They also do a lot of turning over. They used to trash the garden in France, didn't they?
They did.
Get their nose down in the mud. They're always rooting for tubers,
Well, they
And
do. They release domestic boars, don't they, onto the New Forest?
they do panage.
Pigs, yeah.
Panage in
They've
the
got-
autumn.
Yeah, in the autumn to eat all the acorns and
That's it.
everything.
That's it.
They do that. I went to a spot in the New Forest for a walk not last autumn, the autumn before then.
Yeah.
And there were these two friendly pigs that followed me around for the entire walk.
Mm.
It was great.
Mm.
It was very nice. Anyway, lots of you have been tuning in, so thank you very much for spending your Sunday mornings with me, depending on which time zone you're in there, of course. So we've got Jane in London, David in Devon, Phil from Dorset, Beverly, Anne, Richard, Trevor, Sarah, Laura, Suze, Rose, Sarah, Henry, Steve, everyone from Prague to Melbourne to Glasgow. Goodness, and Cornwall and Dorset and everywhere. So thank you very much for joining us. It's been, it's lovely to have you all from all over the world. It's very flattering, very nice.
Indeed. Should we do a quiz?
Yeah, I think we should do a quiz.
Okay, so it was our anniversary, so we thought we'd go back to some of our most favoured material. And if you have a look at this, you can see that inside this small jar here, I'm just going to make
Ooh,
sure
you
that
get the names
hold
on
on. Yeah,
that.
I've got the name on it there. I'm going to
You
put
have to
my
cut it round like that.
fingers over the name. Here we are. Look, inside the jar, in there is, now I would get it out, except that it's small and it's very light, and there's a little breeze here, and if we've got a little gust, it would blow away.
There we are.
There we are. So what do you think that is?
Put it in the comments and we will get back to it a bit later
Look
on.
at that. That's
Very tiny.
Listen, yeah, but listen, you've got to really think about the scale of this one. Really think about the scale.
It's quite a big volume as well. I think people might get thrown off by the amount that there is there.
Oh, there's a lot. That was just a tiny sample.
Yeah.
When I was scooping that up, there was huge quantities.
But that wouldn't all necessarily be produced at one time, would it?
No, that would have been
No.
produced over,
Yeah.
a couple of hours maybe. Hey, listen, there's woodpeckers going, there's nuthatches going.
It's coming alive again, isn't it?
Everyone's getting very excited here this morning, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one of those
Okay,
days,
so
one of
yeah,
those
let
days.
us know what you think that is, but do consider the scale.
Mm.
That was a pound coin, obviously there.
Now,
Scale.
yeah, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you've been watching the news over recent weeks, but I think it was a couple of weeks ago that we got news of a really kind of rare sighting in Ireland where a very unique mammal popped up. It was a walrus that had turned up in Ireland. And now that same walrus on Friday made its way over to Wales. Here it is. I think it's a young individual, based on the size of its tusks there. And experts have had a look at it because, of course, walruses remain in the Arctic, and to see them this far south is incredibly rare.
Mm.
But this individual here is, I don't know, there's a rumour going around that it came this way on an iceberg, but not entirely sure that that's the case. But it does look a little bit underweight. Says the expert, but its behaviour, and it doesn't look like it's in any trouble significantly at this point in time. But hopefully the this beautiful walrus will make its way back up north pretty soon. But what an unusual thing to see in Pembrokeshire and Wales.
It is, of course, unusual. I have recollections of one turning up before in Scotland, in Shetland, I think, for some period of time, and I know that they regularly visit more regularly visit Iceland,
Yes.
which is obviously further north than we are. But yeah, look at that. And they, you say it's underweight. Remember, these are animals that feed on marine mollusks on the sea floor. So they use those tusks for rooting around in the mud on the sea floor, gobbling up things like clams.
Pries them off.
Yeah, so I think it's going to need to find its way to some sort of clam bed so that it can find enough food to crunch up, munch up, and get some energy before it heads back north. It'd be great to think it would make it back there. I wonder, Beast, when things, animals in general were more numerous,
Yeah.
when there were more, walrus.
Well,
in
they'd be down here more, wouldn't they?
Svalbard and so, around the top of Russia and everywhere else. I think there would have probably been far more regular visitors.
Yeah,
don't you?
I would have assumed so, because higher competition, therefore they'd need to expand a little bit more their range.
Yeah.
And also, remember, we've warmed up, haven't we? It's not
Not this morning.
Not
no,
this morning, no.
no.
But, over the course
No,
of the
not-
last
my
couple of 100 years, we've got a bit warmer in the UK.
feet and arse at the moment haven't warmed up.
I don't
yet
need
this
to know about
morning.
the temperature of your arse, but
No, it's
thanks very
just
much for that.
Generally chilly here, but yeah, that's what a fabulous sight. I'd love to put that on my British mammals
Yeah,
list. Some very lucky people spotting that.
What an interesting thing. Anyway, keep an eye on that over the news. Hopefully it heads back soon. But I think we should go over to Ivory Feathers.
I think we should definitely do that. So we've given Joe George a little introduction. He's a remarkable man who instantaneously responds to, well, not just birds actually, because we set him a little challenge. We did a couple of bird songs, and then spontaneously we threw another one of our favourite species in to see how he would interpret this. Now we pre-recorded this, I've got to tell you, because we wanted to make sure that we could get good sound from Joe's piano, when we weren't competent at doing that, because we actually shot this before Elon Musk had come round and rectified the internet situation. Nuthatch going there, lovely. Okay, look, here's how we got on with the remarkable Joe George. Hello, Joe.
Hi.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Megs.
Thanks for joining us and rising to this challenge. It's
what a challenge it is.
It is a challenge, I have to say. Birdsong is so fantastic that interpreting it is well, it's not something I'd like to do. But then I have no musical aptitude, and Joe has lots.
Yeah, exactly. I can barely, put out a tune on a
listen,
recorder.
I remember. No, hold on. I remember you bringing a recorder home from school and being in your bedroom and making such a ghastly squealing sound with it that I threw it out the window.
Did you?
I did. I threw it out the window in the garden. Mum was quite cross because she said I should I should allow your musical development.
You should allow my creative thinking to flow.
If Joe was there, he'd have thrown it out the window too. Look, so Joe, we've been thinking, and we've both chosen a species of bird, a familiar UK garden birds in the main, and you're going to interpret them for us. So I'm going to go for song thrush.
Good choice.
It's got these sharp, clear, fluty notes. It repeats phrases, normally in sort of 3 times. It's one of the ways that we identify the song thrush song. It repeats certain phrases 3 times in rapid succession. It uses a lot of pauses in its song, which I think generate anticipation. So it's not a torrent of notes. It's got those little spaces which keep you listening and waiting for the next bit of the song to come out. But I don't know, for me it's the sharpness, the clarity, the purity of the song, which I really, really like. So what do you think, Joe? Song thrush.
Easy peasy, I'm sure. That's how I ended up on the piano. I had recorder as well, and Mum did manage to throw that out the window, but the piano was a little bit harder for her to shift. So that's why I'm still on this one. So yeah.
Maybe I should get a piano then, Joe.
Oh,
sounds good. Okay, so here we go. This is called Song Thrush.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I don't know what else to say. It's just incredible, Joe.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Just amazing.
What an amazing skill to have. I mean, all those notes, those pauses, everything in there. I mean, if you had to guess a bird to go with that piece of music, you would guess songthrush.
I think I would. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
how did you get started on this project, Joe?
Well, the lockdown affected everybody, and all the things that I spent time doing all of a sudden were taken away, all my music theatre and all of the sort of social things, and I found myself with just a huge amount of time on my hands. And I found SIBC online, and I had just so much time to get out and enjoy the birds. And as I started looking at all the sort of posts online, I saw the fabulous photographs, and I saw all the artwork, and I was jealous because I can't do any of those things, and I was in awe, and I loved them. And then it just sort of struck me that it was such a very silent world, photographs and artwork and everything that I saw online, and that sort of, there was an element missing, and that was the sound. So I knew that I could do this kind of thing. I'd only ever done 2 public improvisations before this project. So I was just feeling brave, and I sent a message out to a few friends, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. Who wants to chip in? And I had a lovely bunch of friends come online, and the project was born, Ivory Feathers.
Amazing.
Ivory Feathers.
But it's true, isn't it? You know, when you go outside in the natural world, it is alive and it is so loud with birdsong and everything else. And of course, we can depict that in art and everything else. And whilst that's stunning, it's lovely. It's such an amazing idea to kind of compose music around that. I love it.
Just brilliant. Well, Songthrush was superb, absolutely remarkable. Go on, what are you going to choose?
Well, I thought I'd go for the wren. The wren is, you know, if you see a wren, it's a small brown bird that, you know, most people would kind of walk past and not think, you know, twice about. But it's something that's relatively common and we all have in our gardens. But when it starts to sing, it's something magical. It's got one of the most complex songs of any kind of songbird. They can fit more notes in a short period of time than most other songbirds. They're able to really kind of sing incredibly loudly for their size. They're very loud, boisterous, cheeky birds. And their song is a real big part of their survival strategy. They fit as much in as possible. It's quite high pitched, I'd say. Yeah. Quite high pitched.
Explosive.
Yes, explosive would be a good word for the wren. But it's a stunning bird with the most exquisite, complex, fast-paced song at times to kind of go with their flamboyant personalities.
Fabulous. Well, this one's going to annoy the neighbours then if it's loud and explosive. Okay, well, here we go. Here's a piece called The Wren.
Captured it perfectly.
So good.
It really does capture them.
So good. But it's not just the notes. It's the way that the rest of the tune is representing the character of the bird.
Yeah,
because there was real cheekiness in there.
Cheekiness, a bit of kind of flamboyancy.
I find the cheekiness quite easy, but I'm drawing on my own personality, I suppose, as well as the wren there. But you have to have an image of the bird in your head as you do it, and you know I've seen enough of those 2 birds in my brief birding career to know what they look like in front of me, and I have to try and allow the music to sort of conjure an image, and I guess that's what the aim of it is to create a musical image, just like all the wonderful paintings and photographs that are on SIBC do. So that's the plan.
Yeah, well, it
Fantastic,
works incredibly
fantastic
well.
stuff. Okay, to wrap it up, we've got a bit of a challenge for you, Joe.
Yeah, we know you do birds. You're very good at your avians, but can you do canines? What about poodles?
What about poodles?
Yeah,
So,
good
characteristics of the poodle are explosive exuberance, relentless energy,
Bouncy. They're very bouncy.
playful,
Yeah, high energy, very intelligent.
yeah, highly
Very
intelligent, manipulative,
Yeah, calculated. They're always
Always-
thinking. They're always plotting something.
twisting you around their little paw, getting you to do something for them. Yeah. So, poodle.
I might even go one better and make it sound like two poodles.
2 poodles, exactly that.
Ah,
That was so good.
Yeah,
Very
so good.
poodly.
never stopped.
Never stopped. High energy all the time. I think Nancy really enjoyed it. I love the jazzy feel. It's a bit jazzy.
Was it jazzy or was it ragtime?
It was more jazzy. The ragtime would have had a sort of an up and down in the. So it's all in the left hand that makes it jazz or makes it ragtime. But yeah, that was just a little bit chaotic. It wasn't really in any particular genre, but it was in the style of Poodle.
I love that.
Yeah,
Bit of
well,
organised chaos.
organised chaos. Well, when it comes to poodles, it's just the organised that's missing, really.
Yeah,
it's just,
no, it's true.
it's normally
There's
just
no organised. It's just chaos.
Just chaos, really, to be quite honest with you. Joe, that's absolutely
Amazing.
fantastic. Really, really brilliant. You have a unique set of skills there. Thank you so much for interpreting our bird choices and giving poodle a go too. And I mean, extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary ability. And good luck with the rest of your Ivory Feathers project. People can check that out and we'll tell them how to do it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Sid loved his little cameo.
Slow-mo poodles.
Slow-mo poodles come back.
Yeah. We started with a lot of slow-mo poodles. They were very popular to start with, and then people got bored with them, you know.
I don't think they got bored. I think we just struggled. They were so fast-moving that slow-mo poodle was difficult.
There's not a lot of slow-mo poodle in real life, is there?
No, it's
not
fast
with,
action.
Not with these two animals.
Yeah. But there we go. I love that though. How amazing is that? And incredible that he can produce song, compose it just off the top of his head.
I know.
And yeah, Joe, thank you.
And also when he was composing, it wasn't just like a little bit of a, you know.
Yeah.
One of
it
those,
wasn't like
it wasn't one of those.
No, it was like a proper
full business. What an extraordinarily accomplished bloke, honestly.
Every time I see Sid and Nance run now, I'm gonna have that in my mind.
Yes, that little fantastic. If you want to see more of Joe George and his Ivory Feathers project, then you can check out YouTube. Now, people are saying, what's the matter with me? I seem lacking energy. I won't tell you precisely what's the matter with me, but I have been vomiting this morning twice just before we came on air. So Megs was trying to say, oh, stay indoors, I'll do it by myself. But as it was the anniversary, I'm trying to put on a brave face.
You're doing quite well considering how ill you were when I got here this morning.
Yes, I know, but some people are commenting, I'll try and up my energy. Yeah, right. No. Okay, wow, that's great. Super and duper. Actually, we have got super and duper news now because we're going to be joined by Lindsey Chapman, who's always full of energy.
High energy.
So she can inject all of that energy that I'm unable to muster this morning because most of it went down the sink earlier. Sorry. Here she is, the one and only Lindsey. Welcome.
Good morning. Super duper fantastical indeed. What a lovely link. Sorry that you're not feeling so well this morning, Chris. Just keep very still indeed. You're doing really well. Mainly people on the chat as saying it's just wonderful to see you both and to chat once again with the community, and a very happy anniversary. Episode 82 both. How did that happen?
I don't know, Lindsay. I don't know. How did we get, honestly?
What?
Episode 82.
82?
Yeah, we've done 82 episodes. We could have continuously gone for 4 days, pretty much.
4 days?
Yeah, pretty much. Nearly 4 days straight. Day and night. Continuous SIBC. If you wanted to watch all the SIBC broadcasts, that's how long it would take you.
Do you know what? That's probably about the same amount of time as Game of Thrones, isn't it? Or something like that.
Or probably.
You know,
yeah, but we've got more twists and turns than Game of Thrones. We've got more going on than that programme for sure. And you're absolutely right. Julie, who is from Lancashire, has only been watching for a few weeks. She said she wished she started sooner. Julie, don't worry about it. You can just pop right back on YouTube and watch as many as you want to. So you should get on with doing that. And Joe started watching in the Netherlands, has now moved to London and is still watching. So this really is a very international programme. Many, many people enjoying the party hats this morning. Credit to you both for wearing a dino party hat. And I've worn a bird birthday shirt to be a bit jazzy this morning. So we're going full out on the anniversary. In terms of the British mammal list, I have had a message from Anne Flint who says that she saw a walrus on Orkney just a few years ago. So she's got it on her list, Chris. She's done it.
Orkney, maybe that was one that I was thinking. I think I said Shetland earlier. It could have been Orkney.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of those island archipelago groups north of Scotland, but yeah, imagine having that walrus.
Amazing.
Wow. That would
Absolutely. A wonderful tick for you there. Just glancing across at the messages, lots of people saying feel better soon, Chris. Really hope you do, and enjoy my shirt as well. After a year though of SIBC, I put a little message out to see what people have been spotting, because this has been such an unusual year. It's also been a year where many people have reconnected with the natural world, and we've talked about that right through the last 365 days. And I was just interested in what people had spotted. In terms of what I wasn't expecting to see this year, I saw a curlew on what used to be a rubbish dump near me and about 20 skylarks on the same day. And that was something really unexpected that was right on my doorstep that I didn't know about, and I wouldn't have had actually without this year. And I'm going to tell you about some of the things that people have been seeing, but I just wondered what stood out to both of you from the last year.
Well, I'm not entirely sure for me that it was anything particularly unusual. You know, as you say there, with your curlew and skylark in an area that you haven't seen them before and wouldn't expect to see them. But for me, it was I'm just going to stop because it's so clear and sharp, bold. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Missile thrush going away there. So yeah, no, I think it's more the continuity. It's the fact that we've had time to engage with nature far more regularly.
Yeah, it might look as though we might have lost him there for a moment. Where is Elon Musk when you need him? You know, he did a bit of work and he's obviously taken a tea break. So I will carry on mentioning just a few things that you've seen this year, because it really is quite spectacular. So have a look at this. This is from Mark Fuller, and he managed to spot a tree creeper. And I think that is just a gorgeous photo. In fact, he put several photos on. So do go and have a little look at those, because they are really, really beautiful. And what a great spot that is. What an absolutely gorgeous bird. Louise Fowler said that she got up at 4:30 a.m. for a walk and went into her local woods, and she stumbled across a mother and chick tawny owl just right near her. She didn't know they were there, and she's been back since, and she's been watching those two birds together, which is just a beautiful thing to see. And I have to say, Louise, all credit to you, because I hear tawnies all the time, but I see them so very rarely. So that really is quite a fantastical thing to spot just close to you. Had a little video sent in. This is from Kaylee Wright, and she's been seeing lots of northern hairy wood ant nests at one of the nature reserves where she's working. So I wanted to show you this. Look at that. All those bodies just moving together. What a great piece of footage. And maybe something that she wouldn't have seen as well. Who else got in touch? Bazza says, I have watched every episode from the initial broadcast. My best moment of the year was getting a picture of a peregrine. He thought it was a kestrel and then got closer with his camera and it was in fact a peregrine. So not bad at all. Both quite spectacular birds, but if you're wanting to photograph a peregrine, that is a real moment for you. And in Viro UK, consultant said, I was inspired by SIBC from day one to look at the birds on my own tiny garden, seeing everything from dunnock to house sparrow to wren to robin and many, many more. So brilliant spots there. Have a look at this photo. This is actually a picture of me in lockdown, the first lockdown. Here it is. A bit of yoga happening for you. Lovely, from Andy Turner, a hair there doing some yoga. I have to say my yoga lasted about 3 days and then it ended, but I did give it a go. And a video here from Gaz Young. Now, Gaz has been hearing and seeing a cuckoo during his lockdown time, obviously when they were over in this country. Little patch in northeast Lincolnshire, and it's definitely up there for him. Let's see if we can hear it. Gaz, that is one of my favourite sounds, the sound of summer, certainly, and one that I haven't heard as much in recent years. In fact, I think back in East Yorkshire, where I'm from, we haven't heard one on my local patch for about 9 years now, which is a pretty sad thing. So thank you very much indeed for getting in touch with that one. Let's rush through a few more. Herbert 13, walking in my local park, and for the first time ever, really noticing the detail of the seasons unfolding. Brilliant thing to take note of this year. Jennifer Ann Waters says, reconnecting with the nature on her doorstep. Liz Scott, after hearing drumming near to the woodlands at Hinkling Broad, I went out and saw a woodpecker. Beautiful stuff. Producer Kate, lovely producer Kate, said one of her highlights was raising tadpoles and watching the blue tits fledge. Of course, watching you all grow on self-isolating bird club as a community as well. Paul Ross had a charm of 38 goldfinches in his garden for over 30 minutes. That's beautiful. Not only is that a great spot, but that's some pretty good counting as well from you, Paul. Nicely done. And a couple of things just to finish with. Stuart Pike says, I've hardly been out all year, but I did get to watch this. Now, this is a mesmerising murmuration. Look at that.
Yes.
We're here.
Hello, sorry, we're back. We had a technical problem for a second then, but what an amazing thing to come back to, starling murmuration. I did a chat with BBC Radio Lincolnshire about starling murmuration because they have one over the city, which has got increasingly rare with declining numbers, but it's still amazing to see those murmurations still going on at this time of year. Really cool.
Absolutely. That one was taken just a few days ago by Stuart Pike, and it is actually in North Lincolnshire, so not far away from the Humber, not far away from where I grew up. And a murmuration, beautiful, beautiful if you can see the big ones, and obviously there is one there at the moment, but they can be much smaller as well. And if you're able to see those shapes into the sky, whatever size they are, it really is something spectacular. I would say beware of standing underneath one though, because you think it's raining. It's not. That is bird poo on your head.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be wary of. You know, it's a hazard when you're going out wild, but you know what? You can't love animals and go out and see them without getting covered in some kind of poo or some kind of liquid.
No, you can't. And
It's normal.
when we were filming Winter Watch this year, Joe Charlesworth, one of the cameramen who works on that series, had previously been filming a murmuration, and he'd set up his camera and was maintaining it, a remote camera, in the roost, so where the starlings finally aggregate, and they were in some trees in Cornwall. And he said that it wasn't the most pleasant experience because there were hundreds of thousands of birds, and every night they arrived, they deposited a very large amount of material onto him and his cameras.
Yeah, we had to say it with Aberystwyth Pier for Winter Watch this year, when the remote camera team had to go up and check that camera that was under that pier with that barn owl coming in to take those starlings.
Well, they got pooed on.
The camera, honestly, it was just absolutely covered with like thick layer of poo.
All you need is a brolly.
Yeah.
A poo brolly.
A poo brolly, that's what I said.
Get yourself a brown brolly,
Exactly.
and then nothing will show.
I'm so pleased that I began with a roundup of the year of SIBC and we've ended the conversation with poo brollies. I mean, that's what can happen on these broadcasts. We really can go anywhere. And, you know, just brilliant to see the responses coming in. Quite a lot of people saying they haven't heard of cuckoo either, but we've done everything there from hair in spring to cuckoo in summer to memorations, which is normally more of an autumnal winter thing. So the whole year, people have been celebrating the wildlife that is right on their doorstep and sharing it on this community. And that's what I wanted to share this week.
Excellent. Linz, listen, let's look forward rather than back. If you had an aspiration this year, an ambition in wildlife terms, what would it be? What would you most like to see or encounter in 2021?
Well, we've actually talked about it already. So I mentioned that I hardly ever see tawnies. I've seen one back in East Yorkshire once. I can hear them in the northwest where I live now, but I haven't seen one. And that's something that I would really, really like to see because it's quite a built-up area where I live. But I know that those birds are out there. So that's something that I would like to go and see this year if I can.
Well, you have to come down this way, Linz. We've got tawnies everywhere, haven't we?
Yeah,
a lot of the time. So you have to come over.
It's highly wooded here, so plenty of tawnies. Yeah, mind you, they are more nocturnal than barn owls, even when
they're hard to see. Yeah. They are harder to see.
I mean, summertime, I guess, is the best time when there's less not night time, more daytime, less night time. You're more
and more foliage in the trees.
There is that. There is that.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing that walrus either, but I'm going to wait till we can travel around a bit more.
Yeah,
exactly. I can't do that at the moment.
What about both of you, actually? Because obviously, Chris, your list is quite extensive. Is there anything that you would really love to get a glimpse of this year?
Glimpse of this year? Well, we're all staycationing. There's no question of that.
Yeah.
We're not heading off, so it would be the UK. Bird-wise, I think I'm pretty much, wrapped up with everything but vagrants, so that all the resident species are on my list. But if there's one thing I'd like to see more of, and we do have them here in the New Forest, it's hawfinch. They are a declining species, but there are some here. And in the previous house, I had one in my garden once for about 1 minute, and it was just the best. And I know that someone who's living not too far from where we are now has hawfinches coming to their garden, so you never know. We're putting enough food out here at the moment to feed most of the New Forest birds, and just keep hoping that I'll look out the window and see a hawfinch on the ground. At the moment, there were 2 green woodpeckers that have been having a tremendous row just over here. Yaffling, that's what they call it. They call it yaffling, yeah, because the old English name for green woodpecker was a yaffle, because of the yaffling, laughing. I think it must be yaffle must mean laugh, because they were having a good old laugh this morning.
You've got beautiful sounds behind you, many people commenting on the bird song. It is really, really clear. So we're listening to you, but we're listening to that as well. Final comments that have come live in straight from the feed this morning. Neville says, I found a Portuguese man of war on Worthing Beach. That's an impressive spot. Only 3 inches long, iridescent, beautiful, carefully refloated it. Well done to you. Sue M says 7 sightings of kingfishers on the Basingstoke Canal whilst kayaking. I mean, that's not bad, is it? And Michaela says, SIBC gave me the initiative to finally put bird feeders up in my garden. I've been trying to learn some bird song. Well, look, keep watching this morning because you'll tune that ear in. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you for all the messages. And Megs, what are you going to see this year, hopefully? What's on your list?
Oh, I wouldn't mind going to see the beavers on the River Otter. I'd be quite happy to go and see, the beavers that have been reintroduced. I'd quite like that. Or capercaillie. I've never seen a capercaillie. Or capercaillie, as Chris calls them.
No, but you have dressed up as one, and that was a real highlight for me. But absolute pleasure to see you both this morning, and to just connect with everyone once again. Thank you very much for being with us for a year. I can't believe it. I'm going to go and have a sparkling water. It's only quarter.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Linz. Have a great day.
What a year it's been.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye. Superb stuff. Okay, moving on. We throughout the course of the year had tried to give as much of our platform as possible to young people, and we like young people. We like their energy, We like their fact that they take risk. We like their ideas, the fact that they get up really early and they work really hard and they see the world in a new way. And as a consequence of that, we think we ought to trust them, do a lot more when it comes to natural history and conservation. So we've been trying to do our bit, haven't we? We've been getting people on in terms of filmmakers, presenters,
Lots of different
activists.
people.
Anyway, we've come across another group where we've known about them for some time, actually. Would you mind demonstrating the magazine? So Green Fuse, a collection of young people who put together their own magazine. Now, it is online, but they sent us a hard copy as well. But show everyone the quality piece.
I mean, it's amazing.
The quality is exceptional.
So here we've got different tracks that you can go out and have a look at what you need in order to make, basically like a plaster print of the tracks that you find when you're out and about. So lots of great stuff there. I like this bit. Do you know what? I love a crossword or a word search or something, but you can do that. And there's feather IDs there. And there's loads of great interviews, book reviews, amazing drawings. It's filled with so much information, how to dissect owl pellets there. We've got interviews. We've got an interview with Kate Humble. There is so much going on in this magazine, so much information. I've really personally enjoyed reading this.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really, really fantastic. And the quality of it, as you say, is just amazing. Beautiful photos there as well.
And they took all the photos, of course.
Yeah.
Took all the photos. Let's meet the team. Let's meet the team that have put Green Fuse together.
I'm going to have a read.
Hi. My name is Rose and I'm the editor and illustrator for the Green Fuse magazine. Thank you so much, Chris and Megan, for giving us the chance to be in your broadcast. Being home educated means we can dedicate a lot of time to each issue. In creating this magazine, we've all had to learn new skills such as web design, marketing, illustration and photography. Since I'm the one who brings it all together, I've had to learn how to use editing software such as InDesign and Procreate. The Green Fuse magazine is a natural history magazine for young naturalists by young naturalists. You've just got our first hard copies of the magazine and they look amazing. They are packed full of art, stories, poetry, illustration and photography. If you know any young people who are passionate about nature, please do tell them about our magazine. If you want to contact us, then you can email us at thegreenfusemagazine@gmail.com.
Hi, my name is George Rover. I'm a 14-year-old nature enthusiast. I am lucky to live in the incredible countryside of Wales. I am so happy to be part of the Green Fuse magazine team. We're all similar yet different, so each brings something unique to the team. I made the website and contribute to the content and editing. It is an amazing chance to collaborate with others, share our love of the natural world, and encourage more people to do the same.
The seed of the Green Fuse was planted early one morning where my brother George and I got up at 5 a.m. to check our camera traps and otter watch with our friend Megan. We got talking about a local nature newsletter that we were going to set up with a handful of other homeowners and young naturalists. As the idea developed, we began to see that this would end up much bigger than just a local newsletter. We invited some other friends to join us as we created the Green Fuse magazine.
Hi, my name is Tom. I'm part of the editorial team for the Green Fuse magazine. I live in Cornwall. I've always been interested in nature since I was young. One of my favourite animals is a seal for all types of reasons, most of all that you can ID them by the patterns on their skin. I think everyone should get outside and see nature. It just gives you a rush. So even if you just have a balcony, just stand there for a few seconds and see what you can see.
Hi, I'm George. I'm home educator and a fish fanatic, so I enjoy researching and writing about aquatic life. My other interests include herpetology, that's a study of reptiles and amphibians. At present, I'm enjoying studying birds. Over lockdown, I've become particularly interested in feathers, which inspired my crossword in the first issue of the Green Fuse. I have a growing feather collection that I keep in my own museum that I curate. My museum contains natural history finds and other artefacts such as replica eggs. My museum collection has inspired my Green Fuse contributions, such as how to make papier-mâché life-size fish. This is my papier-mâché juvenile beluga sturgeon. The next issue of the Green Fuse will feature how to make papier-mâché fish.
Hi, I'm Hugh and I'm 12 years old. I enjoy being in nature and drawing and painting trees and plants. I have a big garden and I enjoy playing football and climbing trees and spotting animals in the river. I love studying animals and nature, playing with friends and being part of the Green Fuse magazine team.
What an inspirational
I know.
group of people.
Really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've got loads of really nice specimens in their
Oh,
museums
they've
as
got
well.
loads of good stuff.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we did an interview with them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last week before.
Because that'll be going in one of their
It's
next
in the next one.
In the next
They sent
issue.
me a sort of a PDF.
Oh, yeah.
So I could have a look at it. Thank you very much for that. And so you can find us in the next Green Fuse magazine, and I would advocate that you check that out online, particularly if you're a young person. You might be able to contribute.
Yeah, get involved, get in contact, and got the conversation. It's really, really amazing.
Anyway, whilst we're on green, there's another green book out at the moment, and it is green. It's this one. It's called The Green Grocer, and it's written by Richard Walker. Now, you might know Richard Walker as the managing director of Iceland Foods. And Iceland Foods are doing great things.
They are doing some amazing stuff.
They're really doing some amazing stuff in terms of their sustainability. So Richard's book is absolutely excellent. I was fortunate enough to see the pre-production copy of this. It's exceptional. The introduction, I would describe as a must read. It really succinctly sets out the problems that we have and we face, and basically how we need to fix them. It's really, really good. Now, Richard is an extremely bright bloke, and he's radically transforming the Iceland food chain in terms of its sustainability. Some parts of the book you might think, okay, yeah, this is more of a business book. I refute that. I think this is about the business of keeping our planet alive. And there are some quite shocking revelations in there about the way that we farm, the way that we get our food, the way that we buy our food, the way that we waste our food, and so on and so forth. So this is a book, all about, sustainability, and how we as consumers, both in terms of purchasing the food and putting it in our mouths, can make a real difference. It's an exceptional book. I would really advocate it. It's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I have to say I read the introduction, and because you recommended it when you had your pre-copy. Since that point, I've only gone to Iceland.
Yeah,
I really have.
But we're not saying that. That's what he's trying to do is set a standard with Iceland that will be replicated, across other food suppliers. I'll read what it says on the back. Just think, what's landed on my face?
A hair.
Oh, okay.
And a bit of fluff.
I thought it was an interesting insect.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's just a bit of poodle fluff.
Richard Walker runs a £4 billion business that's affecting real change in a most unlikely but critical sector, the supermarket. From restricting single-use plastic to eradicating palm oil from products, his quest is to find purpose with profit for his business. In this book, he explains how you too can make genuine progress on sustainable initiatives whilst being realistic about your profit margins and obligations to customers and employees. Walker offers clear-sighted experience and inspiration to every business, showing you how it's not only possible to be valuable, but to do it right and still generate profit. So that's from the business perspective. But of course, if we are to support the right businesses, those that are cutting down on single-use plastics and palm oil and many other things, the likes of which is happening in Iceland, we have to be aware of those in order to make those choices and make sure that those businesses profit and prosper, and others follow in their footsteps. So this is a book that's equally, as I say, as important for the consumer as it is the retailer.
Very, very important. It's an amazing book.
It's amazing.
An amazing book. And of course, we all care about the natural world, and there's everything that we can possibly do as consumers to help protect it is really important. But a lot of the time we wonder, what does nature mean to us? Nature has different meanings to every single person, doesn't it? It means something different. It helps us in different ways. We love it in different ways, whether you're, a botanist, an ornithologist, a mammal expert, whatever Mammologist.
Keep the ologist going.
Sorry, yeah. No, I lose track of the ologists. So many different ologists and ologies out there, which is amazing. It's quite incredible. Do you know there's an ology for bread making?
Is there?
There is. I can't remember what it is. There's a podcast called Ologies, which I recommend if you're on Spotify.
Right.
It's Ologies, and it talks to different ology experts from around the different fields. There's an ology in bread making. Anyway,
what about that?
I've gone off topic. I've gone severely off topic. Leanne Jones has written a wonderful poem called Nature Is. So it explores about what nature obviously is to her. Now, her mum, Carol and Sarah, wrote into us and said, to celebrate my birthday, my daughter wrote this poem about nature for me. She posted it on the SIBC Facebook group today, and people were really loving it. I'm so proud of her, and it sums up how important nature has been for us this year. We thought you'd love to see it. We absolutely would, and we would really love to share it as well. So let's all have a listen to what nature is to Leanne.
We both love nature and all that it brings, from the radiant cedar to the robin that sings. And I wanted to create a poem for you that sums nature up in a way that rings true, to conjure the sights, the sounds and the smells, to paint a scene as beautiful as the blanket of bluebells. So what is nature? Nature is the twilight, twit and twoo, the tawny soaring on an unsuspecting shrew, the fox that slinks in the inky night, while the hedgehog snuffles and sniffs for a bite. Nature is the chorus of song at dawn, the wood pigeon who coos, call quite forlorn, the tiniest wren with the mightiest lungs, the blackbird whose song is so sweetly sung. It's all 4 seasons and the circle of change, snowdrops, daffodils, foxgloves, a perfect range of nectar for bees and busy butterflies who dance on the breeze and float on blue skies. Nature is a rainbow, every colour can be seen. Rosehip red, firethorn orange, wasp yellow, fern green, the blue of a cornflower, the indigo of wisteria, the violet buddleia sending commas into hysteria. But nature is also the monochrome delight, the charismatic wagtail with his undulated flight. And it's also the calm glide of the kite in the sky, who watches the world from her palace up high. And the smells of nature form a varied bouquet, from the sweet scent of lilac which blooms in May, fragrant lavender, the fresh grass with dew, and that farming favourite, the pungent cow's poo. Nature is the canopy, the highest cone on a pine, and the earthy badger set, their intricate design. It's the crash at sea cliffs, it's the tinkling stream, it's one single raindrop and its iridescent gleam. Nature is the woodland with its autumnal glow, it's the swaying kelp forming marine forests below, it's the reeds in the wetlands with the bittern who booms, it's the untamed heathland, coarse with gorse, bracken and broom. It's the raspy squawks as the crows go to roost, and the whistle through grasses, the shuffle of a spruce. It's the percussion of rain as it bounces off leaves, the diamond frost on the web spiders just weaved. Nature is the heron, frozen like marble, the arrow azure, the kingfisher's marble, the knots in a tree that's been dead for years, with much room for mushrooms, polypores and wood ears. It's a haven worth saving. We must try our best. It's home to so many from warren to nest. We must encourage a love and respect for each part. Nature's our lifeline. We must give her our heart. Nature is the stable and strong mother oak tree. It's the acorn and the delicate roots that break free. It's old and it's wise, and at the same time brand new. And it gives me such joy to share it with you.
What a beautiful
Leanna, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Leanna.
We like the way that people respond in different ways. Done quite well this morning, haven't we? Had a little bit of art in the Green Fuse book.
True.
We've had remarkable Joe George with his music, and now a bit of poetry too.
I like a bit of mixing the arts. I think it's important, isn't it? It's a good way of communicating.
It is, and so many people who are artistic are inspired by nature, of course. That's the key thing, isn't it?
Very true.
Key thing. Anyway, listen, we've had greenfinch, goldfinch, blackbird is singing now as well. Nuthatch, of course, been going constantly. It's one of the, despite the fact it's a very chilly morning here.
Overcast, very grey.
Yeah, but there's lots of birds doing their stuff. Anyway,
It's
birthdays.
jazzing up. Yes,
coming
lots
to
of
the
people's
end.
birthdays. So we'd like to wish a very big happy birthday to Jean Hargreaves, who's 92 today. Very happy birthday to you, Jean. We've got Stephen Kenneth, who's 48 today. We've got Helen Hawke, who's 60. We've got Lottie, who is 10 today. So very happy birthday, Lottie. We played her Bat video clip last year on SIBC.
No, but listen, you said she's 10 today. She's not.
On the 10th.
10 on the 10th.
No.
No, it's her 10th birthday, but I think it's Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Let me look.
It's her 10th
you
birthday.
carry on, I'll check.
You carry on, you double check. We've got Jackie Jones from Norwich as her birthday tomorrow. She's followed the programme for nearly a year and is just feeding our own book, Back to Nature. Thank you very much, Jackie. I hope you've enjoyed that, and thank you for sticking with us over the course of the year. 82 episodes, it's quite a feat. We've got Karen Hack, who is 58 on the 22nd of March. Mike says that Karen loves the group and has made this tough year bearable. That's really sweet. Thank you so much, and very happy birthday to you, Karen. Rose is 58 and birthday is on the 23rd of March. Happy birthday to you, Rose. Also on the 23rd, we would like to wish Suzanne Lee Tanner a very big happy birthday. She's followed SIBC from the beginning. That's lots of love from Ruth, Hillary and all of the family. Very happy birthday to you, Susan. Darren wrote in for his wife, Melissa, whose birthday it is on the 25th, and she's going to be 43. So very happy birthday to you, Melissa. A couple belated birthdays as well. So Leanna, who wrote that stunning poem, his birthday on Thursday just gone. So I hope you had a fantastic birthday, Leanna. We've got Ross Knowles, who was 70 last week. Happy birthday to you. One of her best presents was watching Blue Tits move into one of her new nest boxes.
Top work.
That is a nice present. What a nice thing. Very happy birthday to you, Ross. And then we've got Mia Cornfoot, who was 12 last week. Very happy birthday to you, Mia. We've got Charlie Partmigan, who... Tarmigan. It's my pronunciation going off then.
That can't be his real name, surely.
Who was 6 last week. So very happy birthday to you, Charlie. And finally, Jenny wanted to wish her daughter, Roseanne, a very happy 30th birthday. Almost said 40th then, added on an extra 10 years.
And
30th birthday. It gets, at the end of the list, it gets a bit tongue-tied. Very happy birthday to you, Roseanne.
And I'm just checked, Lottie's birthday is on Tuesday. This forthcoming Tuesday. She's watched every self-isolating broadcast. Was lucky enough.
We should have put these back on.
As you say,
I hope you have a dinosaur party hat.
Okay. Good. Happy birthday to all of those people.
Should we do the quiz?
And apparently it is his real name. His name is Charlie Ptarmigan.
Yes.
What? Tell you something. That's a good name, isn't it?
It's a great name.
Imagine if you were called Ptarmigan.
Yeah.
You'd have to be a birder, wouldn't you? With a name that, it's not like thrush, is it? Or a common bird,
No,
Ptarmigan
is very specific.
Very specific.
It is very specific.
Charlie, you're very fortunate to have a great surname. You must thank your parents for that, or at least one of them. Who knows?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe his great granddad was massively into birds and he changed his name. His name was Smith. I
might change my name to Captain
Peters. And then he thought, God, I'm so into birds, I'm going to change my name to the most exciting species. And his favourite had to be a ptarmigan.
I might change mine to Megan Hammerhead.
Hammerhead?
Yeah, I really like sharks, don't I? So Megan Hammerhead. Or Thresher. What would you change yours to?
Well, that's sort of sounding a little bit sort of...
Chris Poodle.
Punk.
No? Chris, what would you be? Chris Waxwing? Chris
Tyrannosaur.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Chris Tyrannosaur. Not going to go down very well, is it?
Anyway.
Who's got the quiz? So
here
they are. Look, here we are. We showed you them. They were tiny pellets of very obviously poo. I think we've got a picture where you can see them more clearly than the jar. They're precious to me. I'm not taking them out of the jar this morning. They will blow away. Here we are. Look, you can see them spread out on the table with the pound coin. Who got it, Beast?
So well done to Margaret, to Neville, to Marie, to Mary, to Karen, to Michelle, to Ben, to Anne, to Elaine, to Sarah, to AEB Photography, and to Anne.
What?
Who all got it right.
Right, did they get it right?
They did.
Well, this is the frass, because that's what we call this material, frass, of the mullein moth caterpillar. So it's mullein moth caterpillar poo. Yes. Now, did any of those people say mullein moth, or did they just say caterpillar poo?
Oh, there wasn't
They
a
might have
distinction.
just said caterpillar frass, in which case...
Kate hasn't... there's not a distinction there.
Listen,
but, yeah.
If you didn't say mullein moth...
Caterpillar.
It may well be the anniversary.
You're very picky.
We may well be, in a mood for celebration and effusing kindness. But if you didn't say mullein moth, you're only having half a mark.
God, you're mean when you're feeling poorly.
I am. Listen, caterpillar frass is really important. one thing that scientists do with caterpillar frass every year.
Oh, they all just said caterpillar.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew they didn't say mullein moth. They just said caterpillar. Well, you're only having half a point.
But it's quite
each.
tricky, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Mullein moth.
Of course.
You know, you got to give people a chance.
No, but
how can you identify a specific species of caterpillar by their dung? I mean, unless you do
by smelling it.
Or smelling it, or DNA test.
You can smell the mullein in the poo.
Can you?
Oh, no, you can't. Don't take the top of it.
I'm having a sniff.
Right.
Why did I just do that? I've turned into you. I've spent too much time with you.
You have. Listen, I was telling people why frass is important. So in the summertime, in order to get an idea of the abundance of caterpillars living in oak trees, and we know that the larvae of those moth caterpillars is particularly important when it comes to feeding our woodland birds. Things like the great tit, the blue tit, all of those other species are dependent on that caterpillar crop. So when scientists are looking at the productivity of the birds, how many eggs they're laying, how many young they're rearing and fledging, they also need to get an idea of how many caterpillars there are. Now, counting caterpillars up in the canopy of an oak tree is a task beyond the scope of many scientists. So they've come up with a neater and much easier way of assessing the numbers of those. And what they do is they go out beneath the oak trees, they spread out a sheet, and on the sheet they collect caterpillar frass that falls from the trees. And by counting it and weighing it, they can assess the abundance of the caterpillars up in the trees.
Clever.
That's what Self-Isolating Bird Club is all about.
Yeah, clever.
Nuggets of
then surely there's
poo-related science.
There has got to be
that.
individual variation based on size of caterpillar, surely. So it wouldn't be 100% accurate to the precise number, would it? I mean, I don't know. It might be.
I think it provides what we call an index.
An index, yes.
So it's the relative abundance. It doesn't tell you precisely how many caterpillars and how big they are, but by contrasting the amount of poo under the tree day by day, month by month, or year by year, it tells you the relative abundance of the caterpillars, and therefore it gives you an indices of their apparency.
I concur.
Yeah. Anyway, there we are. Caterpillar poo's got its uses.
A good fact to end on.
Yeah, that's what we're going to end on for our anniversary, except for the fact that we're going to wave our T-shirts about one more time.
If you fancy getting an anniversary Sibc T-shirt, there is the link there. It's amazing, designed by Lucy Lapwing. Thank you very much, Lucy, for this. You can have a look. This is on Chris's website. Is this? Oh, look, some fancy artwork.
Yeah, bit of Keith Haring in the background.
Yeah, so you can get one of these. Again, as we said, we put the price down as low as we possibly could do for the website, because we wanted everyone to be able to get one and celebrate it. This isn't kind of about making any funding from it. If there is anything, then we'll probably be donating that to a charity, but we'll let you know. And yeah, it's just nice to have. I'm happy that I got Sibc T-shirt. Yeah. What a year it's been. Thank you, everyone.
Need it to warm up enough so that we can actually put them on.
Yeah. What's coming up next week? Well, we've got live Luke Massey, probably minus bears though.
It's been a year-long promise.
It has. We've had Luke on a number of times now, and he's always fantastic. He's always got some beautiful imagery, some beautiful science and storytelling to share with us. Every time he promises big carnivores.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one.
No, but he's delivered lots of
fire salamanders was good.
Pine martens.
That was also good. We love Luke. He's brilliant. We're only teasing him about his lack of bear, but it's we love having him on. He's a fantastic photographer and filmmaker. Fantastic. And I wonder if he's been doing any more of it to his roof. Oh, apparently we might have a film on some large predators, supposedly. But
really?
Apparently.
Wow, let's see.
Apparently so. But him and his partner Katie Stacey live out in Spain, in the most beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
Where they go out exploring every day. It looks absolutely stunning.
Well, Luke's been doing a bit of DIY, I hope.
Yeah, around his farmhouse.
I hope he's been doing some plastering and putting up some shelves. Trying to make his farmhouse a little bit more habitable for his family, rather than just gallivanting around in the fields with his camera.
Better both,
ostensibly in pursuit of bears.
Yes.
Anyway,
shall we
we're going to finish off with our whitetails.
Yeah, let's finish off. But thank you everyone for sticking with us throughout the course of a year. It's been quite the year, and it's been an amazing thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But look at that.
Now, during the course of our broadcast, Fabian told us that there'd been a changeover at the nest, so they switched incubation duties. And whilst he was watching that, saw no less than 3 eggs in the nest.
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Amazing. Look at all the greenery there, all the fresh greenery they've brought in. Look.
It won't stay that fresh for long, will it?
Wow, they'll replenish it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They replenish it.
true.
Such a fabulous view that is, isn't it? Absolutely
God, it must be very wobbly up there.
Yeah.
Imagine when the wind really picks up. It must really get.
They're tough,
you know,
though, aren't they? Look at
they
them.
are
They're
tough.
Tough things. Look at that. That is
Hardy.
absolutely superb. Well, what's going on? I thought she was going to, or he was going to do something there. Fantastic stuff. Right. Now, my day was scheduled to be trying to plant as many as 2,000 wild garlic bulbs as possible. I'm afraid I'm going to have to hit that on the head, and I'm going to leave you to pack up, Beast.
Okay.
Can I do that?
You go on. Go.
So you need
go
to put
bed.
the party hats back in the drawer. I'll take the mullein moth poo with me. Obviously, that's most precious of all. If you could take the books indoors, unplug everything here, pack it up. You know.
Oh yeah, no, because
I'm going to head straight back to bed.
Yeah, go on.
What a waste of a day. Gosh, I hate being, ill. Really do. It's such a waste of time.
Go on, go put your feet up.
Back next week.
Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you later.